Welcome to Switch It Up. Welcome to the RV lifestyle. We're still in this wonderful series that today, what are we talking about today?
Well, tonight we just want to bring you some information about memberships because there's a lot of them out there. Where do you start? Which ones do you need? Which ones do you want? So many questions.
There's lots of questions, and Sheila has answers because I don't. I like to think I do. So I guess we'll roll the intro and let's go find like a really cool scenery because this is a really cool place. Let's not give it away right away, but there's water, as you can see. Let's go find a cool place to share this video with you.
Okay, sounds like
All right, so roll the intro and we'll be right back.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
All right, and we're back. And look at this. Like this series.
We just had to cross the street, and
I know.
This is our view.
This series has been a lot of fun because we've been in different locations to shoot it. Yeah, we just kind of make the best of it. But this is like Michigan. I never imagined it to be this way.
Yeah.
Ever. And then we're going to talk about memberships? Really? This is great. I'm sorry, I'm excited. So let's talk about memberships.
What would you like to talk about instead?
Well, in this series, this is part 4.
Yes.
There was 2 parts in part 3, but this is part 4. He's laughing. You want to be in our video?
I do not.
Okay, I was just checking. This is part 4 in the series in the RV lifestyle. So let's talk about memberships. Let's see if we can give them some good old-fashioned value while they look at this magnificent scenery.
I think the hard thing is with memberships is that there's so many out there. So there's a lot of noise, a lot of confusion about which ones, a lot of different options, what really do you need?
Yeah, especially when you're first starting out. What are you
Yeah.
going to research and what you're supposed to be doing? So, yeah, lay it on it. What are some of the things that you looked for when we first started our journey?
Well, to begin our journey, I looked for what are ways, like if the membership had a low cost, what was the trade-off, right?
Yeah, because sometimes if it's got a low cost, you're wondering, do I really need it?
Yeah, and so let's, for one that has a low cost is KOA, right? It's
Okay.
just as basic KOA campground. However, we have our insurance through Geico, and there's a KOA discount. And the discount with our Geico insurance was actually more than the KOA membership, so it seemed like it was a no-brainer then.
Huh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, look at
See,
that.
look at that. I didn't know you did. Okay.
Then you get 10% off at the KOA campgrounds, and we've stayed at a couple.
We stayed at a few.
Yeah, here and there. I mean, it's a KOA.
Sometimes KOA means by the road.
And by the railroad tracks.
And by the railroad tracks.
But a lot of RV parks mean that actually.
Seems to be.
So KOA, I mean, it depends that, I think people just have to look at what type of camping you're going to do and where you're going to be going, and then you can kind of look at the memberships. But for us, since our car insurance and our rig insurance was already through Geico, that one made sense for us.
And that kind of also goes back to the decision video. Again, everything stems off of that video.
That main decision, you have to make that from...
Goes into the rig, which goes into if you're going to be in national parks, which goes in all
Yes,
those things.
It all flows together. It's like a linear progression of thoughts.
Except it's bad when Todd's in the video because he's not. All right.
Okay, so then we did a video about Boondockers Welcome
Yes.
and Harvest Host. We did do both of those memberships because they were just like ways to stop over, so you can refer them maybe to that
Yeah,
video.
how about we do this? I'll put it up at the top. Now, the cool part about a lot of the Harvest Hosts were in those business locations, and they're one-stop nights generally. So we like that those memberships a lot.
But we are completely self-contained. We can run off of a generator, we can run off of solar, so if that's not the type of rig you chose, then those might not be a good choice
Right.
for you. And as a side note, we're not getting paid for the
Nothing.
memberships that what we're saying to you, except for we do with Harvest Host.
Oh, what is that?
There's an
Like
affiliate link, and I think we get like $15. But I'm just saying that all the others, these are just our honest opinions. We're not some paid endorsed sponsorship.
I'd like
with
to be. I would be at some point. Anyway, continue.
Okay, continue on. Okay,
We got a list
I had to write a couple of them down
because
I was
we're
like,
in this location. Yeah.
Because there's yes.
This
So
is the linear progression.
okay, then there's one out there for good. It's just a Good Sam membership, and you'll see this little. It's like a red circle with a face in it at all the parks that they are affiliated with. So there's some perks to the Good Sam membership. One, it's not a very expensive membership. I think it's
we originally didn't
$29.
We didn't have the Good Sam membership, but we went in to go grab some things that broke on the rig, and they were like, "Well, if you were a Good Sam member, you could do this and this," and then we saved the amount of the membership, so then we became Good Sam members.
Because you get a discount at like Camping World. You also, fun fact, you get to dump for free at Camping World. So if you are boondocking from place to place and you're like, oh, I need a place to dump my tank, and you're a Good Sam member, you can stop off at Camping World and be able to dump your tanks there. So that has
that's a little perk.
And did you also know that you can get a gas discount at Flying J?
No, I did not.
8 cents on diesel a gallon. Look at that.
Now, see, that's pretty neat. Now, we have the TSD card.
Yes, but
That's not a membership.
nope, that's
But
not
it does help.
Yes, and so that would be another thing that would be something that
For
you
diesel.
could. Yep, that you could
Oh, I got
get
a duck flying over. This is like magic.
until he poops on you.
Okay, go
Okay.
on.
All right, so then let's talk about 2 memberships that we don't have. But I've been looking at and thinking, okay, will these be something that we would want for our next year?
As we continue out on the journey.
Because our memberships are getting ready to come up because they're 1 year, and so we need to make some decisions. Are we going to keep that one? We're not going to keep that one. But maybe if you are a subscriber of ours, and you can just leave a comment down if you are a member of either the Passport America or the Escapees RV Club.
Yeah, I think that would be great for other people to see
Yeah.
what your experience would be.
Yeah.
What are you seeing at those 2 that you're kind of why you're looking at?
Well, I'm looking at, so the one that I'm looking at is the Escapees RV Club. They have things like a mail forwarding system.
Right.
At that service, they have a roadside assistance, and they do events and education, and they're kind of like building a community. There's a small number of campgrounds, though, so I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, outweighs the...
Yeah, but the membership's only like $50, so it's not like it's huge, but it's still something that you need to take into consideration. Also, there's Passports America. We do not have that one, Passport America, and you get 50% off of your campgrounds, which is a huge thing. However, there are blackout dates.
Of course.
And those are usually going to be...
There's always those getches.
They're going to be like the third, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and week and holidays. So there's a disadvantage to that.
It's probably going to be in a lot of the big traveled areas as well.
Yeah. So, but there are a lot more of those parks than there are for the Escapees. Yes. I know we've talked to some people that had the Escapees, so just kind of tossing that one around. You guys let us know if you think it's worth it, and then those of you that maybe have Passport America as well. I think probably the one that's probably talked about the most, and we do have that membership, is the Thousand Trails membership.
Yes. And there is thousands of videos on the Thousand Trails membership.
Yes.
Thousands.
I think the Thousand Trails membership for us has paid for itself.
But we did the basic.
We did. We just did the basics. So disadvantages is we can stay in the park for 14 days, and then you've got to leave their system and be out of the system for at least 7 before you can go back in. But if you, I try to plan that. We're in the system, then we go to a Boondocker's Welcome or a Harvest Host, and then an Independent, and then back in the system.
Now, when we first started, we used that membership. We boogied right down towards Key West, and we came up to Orlando. And that membership paid for itself in that first
week. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Because we just have the basic, and we added on you can add on a trails collection package, and you can also choose your zones. So if you know, hey, we're not going to be doing this zone, the Southwest zone, then you don't pay for that zone, and you just then can use the other part. The disadvantage to me is one, the amount of time you can be in, and then you got to get out of the system, and another disadvantage.
The West Coast.
Is the Midwest.
Yeah, the Midwest, there's really nothing.
Wah, wah.
And when we went on the West Coast, like through Wyoming, things like that,
there's not really a lot over there. And for us, the ones in Arizona, there are quite a few, but we're not old enough to be in those parks.
The bonus! I'm not old enough yet.
Right. few more years we can do that. So that's some pros and cons of the 1,000 Trails, but for us it did pay for itself within that first week that we used it. So I thought that was good. There is a membership that's not related to RVing that I think that everybody needs to have, an America the Beautiful card for the national parks. That thing is $80.
And it's like today alone, we were in 2 parks that we would have had to pay.
Yeah, and so, I mean, just if you're
It's
going to
well
go
worth
out
it.
and see any of the national parks whatsoever, I think that is
And
definitely worth it.
if you're a veteran, you get a discount on that as well.
Yeah.
Because my dad ended up getting that card, he got some sort of a discount,
Yeah, I think
which is pretty cool.
that is definitely worth it. But so that's just kind of like memberships in a nutshell. There are a lot out there. You just need to do your research. I know that that's just like scraping the tip of all the different memberships that are out there, but those are kind of like the top ones, the most frequently used ones. And so just look and see like where you're going, kind of map out your trip and see which memberships would help save you the most money.
That sounds appropriate. All right, as we button this up, was there any like last minute things that you thought about through this whole thing?
Well, I think that the majority of the memberships are like giving you a discount,
Right.
Except for 1,000 Trails. When you go to those parks, you're staying there for free.
That's why it paid for itself in Orlando, because
Yeah.
now there's pluses and minuses that too.
Yes, some of you aren't gonna like it's a lot of those 1,000 Trails parks. They don't give you an assigned site.
Nope,
It's
you
like
just show up
you
and
show
drive
up and-
around until you find one.
Yeah, find one that you like are gonna fit, and then you're free to move tomorrow if you want. That took a little bit of getting used to, but we've learned we're gonna hop on our e-bikes and go scout it out, and then we've
got a plan.
We got a plan.
So when we head back down to Florida this year, we're gonna figure that out.
But I think the key is just finding a membership that will save you money so that you can get out and see more. That's it.
All right. Well, does that wrap it up?
I think so.
That wraps up our brief. You're gonna have to do some research and really dive into what you're looking for, but I think this gives you a really good starting point.
We will put the links to all of these memberships that I just mentioned in the description.
We will?
We will.
Oh, great. I gotta find them all. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this series, and we'll see you next Tuesday. I don't know what we're talking about next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, don't miss it. We're going to talk about how to plan your trip.
Finally. Out.